Detective Alexander Sheridan sits down in front of the television. He has requested a copy of the tape that has so disturbed anyone who has watched it, and now he has it. He feels apprehension building. Should he watch this? Some think it is cursed. However, Sheridan is not a superstitious man. He puts the tape in and presses play. A young man comes on the screen, the same from the picture. He is screaming, while behind him the lights are rapidly going out, moving in sequence towards him. What he is screaming is most incoherent, and what Sheridan is able to make out is simply more the same of what he said in the Word document. Close the doors. Suddenly, the last lights flash out spectacularly, and there is a small glimpse of the laptop before the camera goes dark. What ensues are some of the most horrifying screams that Sheridan has ever heard, but he only barely registers these. He refuses to believe what he thinks he saw. To be sure, he rewinds the video and plays it again, and again, and again. Finally, he pauses it and goes forward, frame by frame, until he sees the image he feared. Just as the lights flash out for the final time, there is a woman grabbing the young man, except he is not sure that she is a woman. It has no eyes. They look like they were gouged out at some point. There are slashes in her face, or what is left of its face. It is mostly decaying bone, with some skin stretching over it. The teeth are worn nubs. Sheridan averts his eyes. He can't look at this thing anymore. He notices at that moment in the background stands other things. People that have disappeared, all decaying, all with no eyes. They seem to be looking directly at him, accusingly almost. He tells himself that this is impossible, as they have no eyes. Then he notices motion. The woman holding the young man pulls her face in some caricatures of a smile. Then she begins digging her fingernails into his face. He begins screaming, as she repeatedly rips his eyes out of his head. Sheridan runs forward and presses the power button on the TV. Nothing happens. The woman thing continues to rip the eyes out of the man's head, and Sheridan begins screaming with him. As he feels his sanity begin, he rips the plug to the TV out of the wall. Nothing happens. He reaches as the thing pulls the remains of his eyes out and begins pressing them into her own sockets. He turns and runs full force towards the wooden baseball bat mounted on the wall. He grabs it. He intends to destroy the TV. As he runs back towards the television, he raises the bat. Just as he's about to swing and destroy the screen, the thing winks at him with its new eyes. Whatever vestiges of sanity that are left in Alexander Sheridan shatter at that moment. He drops the bat and stumbles backwards into the next room. All he knows is that that thing knows where he is and how to get to him, and he knows that he doesn't want that to happen. As he presses the barrel of his police-issued Glock into his temple, he vaguely recalls some urban legend or quote of something he'd heard somewhere about how if someone dies a violent death, their spirit stays there, angry, forever. "Fuck that," he says out loud, his horse squeezing the trigger. On the television screen, all that is seen is a terrified young man in a bright flash of light. Nothing more.